The cargo ship landed in the dirty spaceport with a loud thud. James Miller wiped his mop across the greasy floor, watching through the window as alien traders stepped out. He had been working as a janitor at Station Xerxes for 3 years now, cleaning up after rich aliens who barely looked at him. His supervisor, a fat Krellian named Voxer, waddled over with a nasty smile on his face. "Miller, we need to talk about your payment." James stopped mopping. "What about it? You owe me 6 months of wages." "That's 12,000 credits." Voxer's smile grew wider. Yes, about that. There has been a small problem with our finances. The station cannot pay you in credits right now." James felt his stomach drop. "What do you mean you cannot pay me? I have bills. I need to send money to my sister back on Earth. She is sick and—" I understand, Voxer interrupted, waving his thick hand. "But we have something better than credits. Much better. Come, see." James followed Voxer to the cargo bay, his heart pounding. Better than credits? Nothing was better than actual money. As they walked through the station corridors, other workers gave him strange looks. Some seemed sorry for him. Others looked away quickly. The cargo bay doors opened with a hiss. Inside was a small medical pod, the kind used for transporting sick or injured passengers. Through the clear glass, James could see someone lying inside. An alien girl, maybe 18 or 19 years old in human terms. She had pale blue skin, silver hair, and delicate features, but something was wrong. Her legs were twisted at odd angles, clearly broken or damaged. Her eyes were closed, and machines beeped softly around her. "This is Princess Lyria of the Vexian royal family," Voxer announced proudly. "She is worth at least 50,000 credits, maybe more. She is yours now." "Payment complete." James stared at him. "What? You cannot give me a person as payment. That is slavery. That is illegal." Voxer laughed. "Illegal?" "The Vexian Empire abandoned her. They declared her worthless after her accident. She has no rights anymore. No family. No home. Technically, she is just cargo now. Very expensive cargo that we are giving to you. I do not want her. I want my money. Too bad. This is what you get. Sign here." Voxer shoved a digital tablet at James. James pushed it away. "No, this is wrong. Take her back to her family." "Her family does not want her," a new voice said. James turned to see a Vexian official standing nearby. He was tall and thin, wearing expensive robes. "Princess Lyria was injured in a shuttle accident 6 months ago. Her spine was crushed. Our best doctors tried to fix her, but they failed. She will never walk again. In our culture, a royal who cannot walk cannot rule. She is no longer considered part of the family. We traded her to this station to pay off some debts. Now she is your problem." James looked at the girl in the pod. She was so young, so helpless, and they just threw her away like garbage. "What if I refuse?" he asked quietly. Voxer's smile disappeared. "Then you get nothing, no money, no payment, and we fire you. You will be stuck on this station with no job and no way to get home. Your choice, human." James clenched his fists. He needed that money. His sister Maria was dying of a rare disease back on Earth. The treatment cost thousands of credits every month. Without his support, she would die within a year. But looking at this broken princess, he could not just walk away. "Fine," he said finally. "I will take her. But I want it in writing that my debt is paid in full." Voxer clapped his hands together. "Excellent. Sign here, here, and here. Congratulations, Miller. You now own a princess." 2 station workers wheeled the medical pod to James's small quarters in the lower levels. His room was barely 10 feet square, with a bed, a tiny bathroom, and a storage unit. They pushed the pod into the corner and left without saying a word. James sat on his bed, staring at the sleeping princess. What was he supposed to do with her? He was a janitor. He lived in a closet. He could barely take care of himself, let alone another person, especially one who needed medical care. The machines around her pod beeped steadily. He checked the display panel. Life support was stable. Medications were being administered automatically. The pod could keep her alive for maybe another week before it ran out of supplies. Then what? James rubbed his face tiredly. He had worked a double shift today, 12 hours of mopping floors and cleaning toilets. His back ached. His hands were raw. And now he had a paralyzed alien princess in his room. What a day, he muttered. As the station's artificial night cycle began, the lights dimmed automatically. James changed into old sleeping clothes and lay down on his bed. Through the thin walls, he could hear other workers laughing and talking. Someone was playing loud music. Life went on as normal for everyone else. But not for him. He looked at the princess one more time before closing his eyes. She seemed peaceful in her sleep, unaware that her entire life had been traded away like a broken tool. He wondered what she was dreaming about. Did she remember being royal? Did she know what had happened to her? James drifted off to sleep, exhausted and worried. He needed to figure out what to do. Maybe he could sell the pod and medical equipment. That might get him some credits. But what about the girl? Could he really just abandon her like her own family did? His last thought before sleep took him was simple and sad. Nobody deserved to be thrown away like trash. Not even an alien princess. Outside his window, the stars shone coldly in the black void of space, uncaring about the problems of one human janitor and one broken princess. James woke up to the sound of crying. At first, he thought he was dreaming. But the soft sobbing continued, getting louder. He opened his eyes and saw that the medical pod was open. Princess Lyria was awake, sitting up inside the pod, tears streaming down her blue face. He jumped out of bed quickly. Hey, it is okay. You are safe. She looked at him with wide, terrified eyes. Her silver hair was messy around her face. Where am I? What happened? Where is my family? James approached slowly, holding his hands up to show he meant no harm. You are on Station Xerxes. You were brought here a few hours ago. My name is James. I am. Well, they gave you to me as payment for my wages. Lyria stared at him, confusion mixing with fear. Gave me? Like property? I did not want this, James said quickly. I wanted money, not a person. But they said your family does not want you anymore. Something about you not being able to walk, so you cannot be royal anymore. Fresh tears filled her eyes. She looked down at her twisted legs. My father said I was dead to him. My mother cried, but did nothing. My brothers laughed. They just got rid of me. James felt a sharp pain in his chest. He knew that kind of hurt. When his parents died, relatives had fought over their money, but nobody wanted to take care of him and his sister. They were split up, sent to different foster homes. He understood what it felt like to be unwanted. I am sorry, he said softly. That is cruel. No one should treat family that way. Lyria wiped her eyes with shaking hands. Why would you care? I am just cargo to you. Voxer said humans keep slaves. He said you would probably sell me or throw me away too. James felt anger flash through him. Voxer is a lying piece of trash. I do not keep slaves. And I am not going to throw you away or sell you. You are a person, not an object. She looked at him carefully, trying to decide if he was telling the truth. Then what will you do with me? That was the question. James sat down on the floor near the pod, thinking. I do not know yet. I need the money to help my sister. She is sick back on Earth, but I cannot just leave you here. Give me some time to figure something out, okay? Lyria nodded slowly. She tried to move her legs but winced in pain. The doctor said my spine is broken in 3 places. They tried surgery 5 times. Nothing worked. I will never walk again. Never is a long time, James said. Maybe there is something that can help. Dexian medicine is the best in the galaxy. If they could not fix me, no one can. James stood up and went to his storage unit. He pulled out a protein bar and a bottle of water. Here, you must be hungry. She took the food gratefully and ate slowly. As she chewed, she looked around his tiny room. You live here? This is very small. Yeah, well, janitors do not get luxury apartments. But it is mine. That counts for something. You are a janitor? Someone has to clean up the messes around here. It is honest work. Lyria seemed surprised. A princess was traded for a janitor's wages. My family would be so ashamed. She laughed bitterly. Good. I hope they are. They sat in silence for a while. James checked the medical pod supply levels. Just as he thought, it was running low. Maybe 5 more days of medications and life support. I need to go to work, he said. Will you be okay alone for a few hours? Fear crossed her face again. Please do not leave me. What if someone comes? What if Voxer takes me back? James thought for a moment, then grabbed his communication device. He sent a quick message to his supervisor saying he was sick and needed the day off. Voxer would be angry, but James did not care right now. I will stay, he told Lyria. Let me just figure some things out. He spent the next hour searching the station's medical database on his old computer terminal. There had to be something about spinal injuries, about paralysis treatment. Vexian medicine might be good, but humans had their own techniques. Different approaches. As he searched, Lyria watched him curiously. Why are you helping me? You do not even know me. James did not look away from the screen. Because someone should. Because it is the right thing to do. And because I know what it feels like when nobody cares if you live or die. Your sister, Lyria said quietly. The sick one. What is wrong with her? Neurological disease. Her nerves are dying slowly. The doctors say she has maybe a year left without treatment. The treatment costs more money than I can make in 5 years of work. So you need money. And I am in the way. James finally looked at her. You are not in the way. You are a person who needs help. Just like my sister. I will figure something out for both of you. How? You are just a janitor. You have no money, no power, nothing. He smiled slightly. You sound like Voxer, but he is wrong, and so are you. I might not have money or power, but I have something better. I have stubbornness. And I do not give up on people. Lyria's expression softened. You are very strange for a human. I get that a lot. James continued his research while Lyria rested. Hours passed. She fell asleep again, exhausted from crying and stress. The station moved through its day cycle. Workers passed by in the hallways outside. Life continued. Then, just before evening cycle, James found something interesting in the medical database. A research paper written by a human doctor 10 years ago. It was about experimental nerve regeneration therapy. The technique used a combination of nanobots and genetic modification. It had worked on paralyzed humans. The paper mentioned that the therapy might work on other species too, but it had never been tested. It was considered too experimental, too risky. Most medical facilities refused to use it. But James kept reading, his heart beating faster. The doctor who wrote the paper, Dr. Sarah Chun, she was stationed on a human colony just 2 systems away. She was still doing research, still looking for patients willing to try the experimental treatment. James looked at Lyria sleeping peacefully in the pod. Then he looked at his bank account balance on the screen. Nearly 0. He made a decision that would change everything. James sent the message to Dr. Sarah Chun at 2 in the morning, station time. He explained everything. The paralyzed princess, the failed Vexian treatments, his desperate situation. He attached Lyria's medical scans from the pod and waited. The response came 3 hours later. Mr. Miller, this case is fascinating. Vexian physiology is similar enough to human that my therapy might work. But I must be honest, the success rate is only 40%. The procedure is painful. Recovery takes months. And if it fails, she could die. Also, my services are not cheap. The treatment costs 15,000 credits. I am sorry, but I cannot work for free. My research needs funding. Jane stared at the number. 15,000 credits. He had zero. The station owed him 12,000, but they had given him Lyria instead. He had no way to get that kind of money, unless he did something crazy. When Lyria woke up, James was packing a small bag. She looked confused. "What are you doing?" "We are leaving the station," he said simply. "What? How? Where?" James pulled out the communication from Dr. Chun and showed it to her. Lyria read it slowly, her eyes growing wider with each line. "This doctor thinks she can fix my spine. But the Vexian doctors said the Vexian doctors were wrong. Or maybe they were not trying hard enough. Human medicine is different. We try things other species think are impossible. But 15,000 credits? You said you have no money." James smiled, but there was something dangerous in his expression. "I am going to get the money. From Voxer." "How?" "By doing something incredibly stupid." 2 hours later, James walked into Voxer's office. The fat Krellian looked surprised to see him. "Miller, you missed your shift yesterday." "That means docked pay, and I want to make a deal," James interrupted. "You gave me a paralyzed princess as payment, but she needs medical treatment. Expensive treatment. I need 15,000 credits." Voxer laughed so hard his whole body shook. 15,000? For a worthless cripple? You are insane. Maybe, but I have something you want. What could you possibly have that I want? James leaned forward. Information. I have been cleaning this station for 3 years. I clean your office. I clean the cargo bays. I clean the security offices. I see things. I hear things. Like how you have been stealing fuel shipments and selling them on the black market, or how you bribe customs officials, or how you keep 2 sets of financial records. Voxer's face turned purple. You have no proof. James pulled out a small data chip. Actually, I do. 3 years of evidence. Every time you left files open on your computer while I cleaned your office. Every conversation I heard while emptying trash. Every illegal transaction I saw recorded in the cargo manifests. All on this chip. You are threatening me? Voxer stood up, his hand moving toward a weapon on his desk. No, James said calmly. I am offering you a trade. 15,000 credits and safe passage for me and the princess to leave this station. In exchange, I give you this chip and forget everything I know. I disappear forever. You never see me again. Your secrets stay secret. Voxer stared at him for a long moment. And if I refuse? Then this chip gets sent to the Galactic Trade Commission, the local authorities, and every news outlet I can find. Your operation gets shut down. You go to prison. Your choice. The silence stretched between them like a wire about to snap. Finally, Voxer sat back down. You have changed, Miller. When did a simple janitor become so dangerous? When someone made me choose between right and wrong, I chose right. Now pay me. 30 minutes later, James had 15,000 credits transferred to his account and 2 tickets on a transport ship leaving in 4 hours. He ran back to his quarters where Lyria waited nervously. Did it work? She asked. We leave in 4 hours. Pack whatever you need from the medical pod. We are going to see Dr. Chun. The journey to the human colony took 2 days. James used the time to prepare Lyria, explaining the risks, the pain, the possibility of failure. She listened to everything carefully. Why are you doing this? She asked on the second night. You could have taken that money and helped your sister instead. James looked out the transport window at the stars rushing past. I thought about it, but then I realized something. My sister Maria, she would hate me if I abandoned you to save her. She always taught me that doing the right thing matters more than doing the easy thing. Besides, Dr. Chun said, if this works on you, it proves the therapy works on non-humans. That means more funding for her research. That means maybe eventually she can help Maria too. That is a big maybe. Hope usually is. Dr. Chun met them at the colony spaceport. She was a small woman with tired eyes and gentle hands. She examined Lyria immediately, running tests, checking scans, asking hundreds of questions. I can do the surgery tomorrow, she said finally. But Princess Lyria, you need to understand. This will hurt. A lot. The nanobots will rebuild your spine nerve by nerve. It takes weeks. You will want to give up. You will beg me to stop. Can you handle that? Lyria looked at James, then back at the doctor. My family gave up on me. They said I was worthless. I want to prove them wrong. I want to walk again, even if it kills me trying. Dr. Chen smiled. That is exactly the attitude I need. Let us begin. The surgery took 6 hours. Then came the recovery. Lyria screamed some days, cried other days. Begged James to make it stop. But he stayed with her, holding her hand, telling her stories, reminding her why she was fighting. 4 months later, on a sunny afternoon in the colony, something miraculous happened. Lyria stood up. Her legs shook. Her whole body trembled. James stood 3 feet away, arms outstretched, ready to catch her if she fell. Come on, he said softly. You can do this. She took 1 step, then another. Then she was walking, tears streaming down her face, laughing and crying at the same time. She walked right into James's arms, and he caught her, holding her steady. I am walking, she whispered. I am actually walking. I told you, James said, smiling. Never is a long time. Dr. Chun watched from the doorway, already writing notes about the successful procedure. This would change everything. The research would get funded. More people could be helped, including, eventually, a sick girl on Earth named Maria. Lyria pulled back and looked at James seriously. What now? Where do I go? I have no family, no home. James thought about his tiny quarters on the station. Then he thought about this colony, with its open spaces and kind people. He thought about Dr. Chin, who needed an assistant. He thought about second chances and new beginnings. You stay here, he said. You help Dr. Chen with her research. You build a new life, and maybe, if you want, I stay too. I am tired of mopping floors. Maybe I could learn medicine. Maybe I could help save people instead of just cleaning up after them. Lyria smiled, really smiled, for the first time since the accident. A janitor and a rejected princess. What a strange team. The best teams usually are. They stood together in the sunlight. 2 broken people who refused to stay broken, ready to face whatever came next. Because sometimes the most unexpected things lead to the most extraordinary outcomes. And sometimes, a simple act of kindness in the middle of the night can change entire lives forever.